right, let's transition to episode number 6. This was the episode that rounded out season 1 of Women of the League. Topics were social media and mental health. Super impactful, vulnerable episode for everybody up on set. There was one moment in time when I think Allie had to hit, the emotions hit, definitely, with just the passion behind mental health and putting up the guard as it related to social media and what crosses the line and what doesn't. Santina, what did you find super powerful and impactful about the conversation of social media mental health?
I think this was one of my most highly anticipated episodes. Obviously, they all come from a very strong digital background on social media, and I think we've all seen over the last few years what the impact social media can have on your mental, and to hear them, discuss their side of it and their stories and some of the really ugly things that I think were brought to the table. I mean, I know they talked about death threats and how hard they really come at their families and over football is pretty wild. And I think, it's easy to say, you just block out that noise, and we can all sit here on the couch and be like, yeah, we're going to block that noise out. But when those messages are actually being sent and those comments are actually being written, it's obviously a lot harder to do. And it was then cool to hear how they would get themselves out of those ruts, or how they would, defend against getting into that kind of mental space.
Yeah, and the reality is there's too often, I think, people being like, oh, you make $100 million a year, or you make $20 million a year, just that's part of what comes with it. But in reality, as they broke that down, there was the legitimate conversation of death threats.
Yes.
And Kristen talking about how her and Jared, win or lose, she's still getting the exact same thing. And that's I still get chills thinking about that conversation because it's disgusting. But at the same time, open the light to what that reality is.
Yeah. I think Mike said it last episode, though. It's money doesn't make those things go away. You still have to take care of your mental, and
you still have feelings.
Yeah.
You still have emotions.
It doesn't matter how much money you have to fall back on. If you're not in a good headspace, you're not going to be functioning as your best self.
Yeah, and that's what I don't understand. These people that do kind of come at them online, it's almost like they don't allow them to have emotions. Because your life is this, you can't be sad, or you can't be upset, or you can't be mad. I never have understood that, how people can kind of come at others in that regard when it comes to oh, just because you have money, you're sad that Isaac got cut. You're sad about that. Yeah, she's really sad about it, actually.
Yeah. They associate money to so many things that, how I said in one of the episodes where she said that, it's, or I think it may have been Kristen, when she talked about, they love them without the money. It does not matter. So, seeing your significant other lose their job, not be able to do what they love or what they're passionate about is sad. There just happens to be a lot of money involved, but if it wasn't, it's still sad. And so I wish I would have been able to watch this episode because it's powerful. And I think sports is a really interesting dynamic because a lot of the times these people that are, I would assume, coming in with death threats and things like that, it's hard to wrap your mind around why anybody would ever, speak in that way or have an outburst in that way. And you think that a lot of times people use sports as their outlet to get away from the struggles of their life. And so when they see their favorite sports team, they're putting so much of their emotional happiness in this sports team to solve some of the problems that they're facing in other aspects of their life, that there's this anger towards these individuals on that television screen for not giving them the happiness that they're seeking, instead of sitting back and saying, hey, where is my true unhappiness coming from? And it's not because Jared Goff isn't performing well right now. It's because of XYZ other reason. And so it's tricky to be in that situation because you're faced with these emotions that are at you despite having any real impact or involvement in that. And so it's hard. It's hard to be on that stage and to face that and to have that weight on you. And I'm sure for Jared and all of them, it's, there's a reason why it's a high pressure stakes. Not just to perform, but also because he knows that the city of the city of Detroit is somewhat on edge, hoping that their city gets put on a map a little bit and has a moment. Like, that is not an easy job to have, and it's a tolling job for the entire family.
I have a question for the group here. Has anybody had any of those like comments or things? Bug them on social media? Do you guys put a lot of weight into that yourselves?
Directed towards us or just?
Yeah.
I've never had any comments like that.
I mean, we've talked about this. I mean, at the agency, we're sometimes, I guess I'm put in a situation at times, and not to the degree by any means that they are. I don't want to even come close to that, but I mean, we work with USC football. We work with some big sports properties, and there's times where they may feel like we're not adequately performing. And I mean, there's been, I would be wrong to say that the comments that we've seen that were written on me didn't have an impact. And I'm somebody that would sit here and say, don't worry about them, don't read them, it doesn't matter. But you two have been people in my corner that have said, hey, Mike, like, you gotta let that go. And you know that, but it doesn't mean that it just feels better. Like, they still hit. Like, people are like, I don't care what other people think. You care what other people think. Like, humans just naturally, right? Now, like, you can get better and better at it, but it's not easy. So I can't imagine seeing that every single day. And I'm lucky enough where it's only like once a year maybe.
Yeah.
But they get it every single day, and that is not easy.
Yeah. What do you guys even think about? I know Kim mentioned this, but even about like likes on a post and how that affects.
Like what you post and when.
Yeah.
And stuff like
I
that.
thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, that's tough. That's why I think our society struggles with the metrics and the analytics of what's success defined by how many likes you get or how many comments you get. And what's really tricky about that is like, multiple of the wives in that table, I mean, somewhat those likes are a part of their lives, and they do matter because they define some of the income streams that they make.
Yeah, but Kim even mentioned she cared about the likes even before content creating was like her job.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting too, the comment Kim did about how she's not very vulnerable like on her content, and she likes it that way because she says that she comes to social media for like an outlet to laugh, to like
escape,
to like be peaceful and stuff like that. And so she's like, I didn't want to open TikTok and see people crying all the time and stuff. But then we had other people at the table that they do share their whole life and share that. So it's kind of interesting to see both sides of that. And I agreed with both. Like,
yeah, and I thought it was cool too that they all kind of looked to Allie as someone who's super vulnerable on social media, and like because I know Whitney and Kristen and a little bit of Kim. She said she can like try to find a balance, but. How they all kind of looked to Allie and was like, gosh, I need to be more like vulnerable like you. Like, how do you do that? How do you, put yourself out there in that way? And Allie was kind of the like voice of reason into why she is so, vulnerable in her struggles in all forms, not just NFL wise. Like, when it comes to her appearance, when it comes to her skin, like everything.
Yeah. Giving tips to them. That was really cool. That was kind of towards the end of the episode. All right, we've got about 2 minutes left, but I want to leave the stage for you guys. Women of the League was definitely your guys' idea. We talked about that in episode 1. Everything came to light, and now as you sit here and reflect on the past 3-4 days in Hermosa Beach, the show is done. It's shot. Now it's all up to the editors. What's going through your guys' mind? Congratulations, first off.
Thank you.
I mean, it was a huge
Congratulations
team
to
effort.
to
Huge
everyone.
team effort at the agency. Santino talked about, across J1S, we have a talent representation arm, and we also have Stay Doubted, the media publisher. And this was one of the first times that you saw both entities fully function at their highest to bring something of this together, and that was really cool to see take place. And really where my head is at, and this is just me naturally, is okay, next. Right? I have complete confidence in the team that's going to help get this now all the way to live by December. And obviously when you're seeing this, that's when it's already gone. So that team did their job. But, what's next? State Dad's got a lot in the pipeline for 2023. So this is just the first of many like this. And so I'm excited to be able to continue to roll out really, great content that can change people's lives.
I'm really proud of like this team that we have right here, because I think, over the course of bringing this whole thing to life, a lot of time, a lot of money has been put into it. And I really think all of us were thrown into our strengths. And I think this made us like a very dynamic team, and everyone pulled their weight. Nobody was just sitting around and even on this, like the production crew too, like everyone was so on point and everything ran so smoothly. Like I'm just so proud of everyone that was, involved, and the girls too. I literally can't say enough about them, and Josie too. So, but especially like our J1S State Outed team, super proud of all of us, and just like pulling, like, I can't believe we pulled this off, and like, we literally need to go have drinks tonight.
We do.
Like,
I counted it this morning. This is a random thing I would do.
Oh, God.
Ready? 63 people touched this tire, bringing this to life.
That is a lot.
63 people. And so it's amazing how much goes into putting on a show like this. And obviously there's a core team. You're looking at a lot of the core team. Mm-hmm. But when you're dealing with that many people touching something, it takes a very strong core team, because you have to coordinate with so many people to bring something to life like this. So really proud moment.